absolutely criminal what's going on right now. But
so don't panic.
Well, don't panic
if you see it going down and you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm losing money," because you're really not.
Good morning once again. Here we are. It is April 13th, 2026, and wow, things are just still moving forward in a advanced way, I guess you could say. If you look at the date today, exactly 1 year ago today, gold was 32.0530, which is rather interesting to think about that number. We were in the 2000s for an enormous amount of time, really just kind of back and forth, 2100, 2300, 2400, 2500, and then kind of would drop back down. So when we got to the 3000 number last year, I remember it was a pretty big deal. We started to see some real serious interest in people starting to get excited about gold again, because it was, now we're at 3,000. We're at a number we'd never been before. And so that's really, interesting news. Also, silver was $32.08, $32.08. So, of course, we're more than double that in the 70s as we are right now. Today, at this moment, we are at 74, basically, 74.20 to be exact.
And today being April 13th. And Greg, he just assumes you know who he is. He's kind of a celebrity in his own mind.
Oh, that's ridiculous. No, that's so stupid.
But anyway, this is Greg from the Gold Ore Store in St. George, Utah, and I'm Melody from the Gold Ore Store in St. George, Utah. And we are giving you the gold and silver update as we see it, in our own opinion, for the month. So what can we look forward to?
Well, one of the things that we did is we've split the camera now, so you can both see both of us while we're sitting here chatting with each other.
Yeah.
Melody and I have been married for 39 years. We think that's a pretty amazing number too. So
for some reason it keeps going up.
Yeah, it keeps going up. 39 is a pretty big deal, but 40 will be even bigger next year. So
I guess going up is a good thing, right? We're always looking for numbers to go up.
It's kind of hard to believe, and a lot of people, when we say that, they just can't believe that our generation actually lasted 4 decades, but we're still moving forward. Yeah, still doing our thing. So the most important thing right now is what's going on with silver. We're always hyper vigilant about what's happening with silver. This year, the year to date performance up 7.5% from an opening price of $69 on January 1. So we're still kind of in this mode of, what's going to happen with silver and gold this year, but particularly silver, because it's so needed and desired around the world for so many things right now, particularly we've talked about this before, about how Samsung
industry.
Yeah, Samsung's building this
medical. Yeah, just all the things.
It really is an amazing, incredible metal that is just constantly being attacked, because it is...
Well, it's not being attacked, it's being used. It's literally being used.
I'm talking about the fake COMEX number that we all have to deal with on a daily basis. That's why we're not 120 right now where we were in January. The real reason is because these bankers are just continually attacking what's important to the world. They want to, once it got past the 20s.
That was all just created by the media and the bankers, because they knew they were going to dump their paper and make a fortune on it. It's absolutely criminal and absolutely outrageous. And I was listening to the Asian guy, and the Asian guy has some really...
He does.
Really amazing inside information. And he was saying that he's expecting silver to go down because what's happening is the banks are holding paper, and the rules have changed on how they can handle paper.
Right.
They used to be able to buy an extension on the paper until the numbers were what they wanted, and then they would sell, and then they would buy more paper when it crashed down because they were selling. But now they're dumping their paper and pulling physical metal. They're not buying more paper.
Right.
And so that's causing some chaos in the market that we may or may not be aware of. What's your feeling about that?
Well, it's totally unfair, the whole entire system, the way it works, because the truth of the matter is they don't even pay full price for these contracts. They actually pay this small percentage of the actual value of silver into these contracts so they can hold a contract. By the way, a contract is 5,000 ounces of paper silver, really, is what they're buying. It doesn't get converted into that until they actually do that. They actually make, the effort to actually change it into, and this hardly ever happened in the past. It would be like, 0.5% of individuals would ever do this because it was just really a money-making deal for bankers in particular.
Now it's too high risk for them to hold the paper. So.
Well, yes, because of the increases in the metal value. And the real issue here is the fact that this metal is so much more valuable than that number that we see on the screen every single day. It's absolutely criminal what's going on right now. But
don't panic.
Well, don't panic
if you see it going down and you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm losing money," because you're really not. If you're holding physical metal, you're in such a small category of investors that are actually holding physical metal, and they're not finding any new mines, as far as I know.
No, that's
to
one of the
more silver. So
that's one of the biggest problems is the fact that the mining industry for silver is this very small, minute, group of miners that even have exclusive silver mines. They're very, very rare, mostly in Mexico and Peru.
In our area,
So.
And I don't know about where you are, where you're listening to this podcast, but in our area, there's this trend that when it starts going down, people panic and they wait for it to start going up again before they start getting in the fear that they're going to miss out on an investment, and so they buy on the up every single time. If you see it going down, take that opportunity and don't, if you have a small budget, but maybe you have a couple $100 or maybe even less to buy silver, buy 1 ounce a month. Don't worry about whether it's up or it's down. Just buy and hold. Silver is a investment. It's an insurance policy against inflation. And just hold on to it and plan on holding on to it for several years. You're going to be just fine.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
You're going to be just fine.
We don't get any complaints at all from, anyone that we literally sold product to over the last, 15 years.
We've had several clients in the last 10 years cash out their 401ks at a penalty. And took that cash and invested it in silver. And they've been coming into our store and thanking us for that. They were going to get gold, and then we said, well, silver's a better investment right now. And do you feel like silver's a better investment still over gold right now?
Absolutely. But I was just going to talk a little bit about that. We're not
No,
investment advisors.
we're not.
We're not attorneys. We're not CPAs.
We just know that in the last 30 years, gold and silver has outperformed every single 401k on the planet, including the additional monies that any company would have contributed over your own initial investment.
Yeah.
Based on historical facts.
I just want to make it absolutely clear that these individuals make these own choices on their own. We support them in the fact of what they want, because that's our business is involved in. Our primary business is precious metals. The Gold Ore Store is a very unique store in the world as far as how we operate. We do carry a lot of other things we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about, but we have a very unique store in the middle of St. George, Utah. We sell crystals, rocks, fossils,
war memorabilia,
jewelry. I mean, a lot
vintage jewelry,
a lot of things that we have passion about as far as my wife and I that we just love and enjoy. Those are in the front of the store, but you know what we do primarily for folks that are serious about an investment vehicle is precious metals, and particularly silver. It's been our primary precious metal for as long as we've been in this business, which is actually way more than 20 years. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, folks, and we just want you to actually start to focus in on yourself. You know, how is it? What can you do that could make a big difference for yourself that doesn't have
financial independence?
Yes, but it doesn't have third-party control. Meaning, when you put your money into a bank, and we all do this, we have to use the banking system. All of us have to use it at some level. Well, I shouldn't say all of us, because there are people that don't use banks, but the vast majority of us that are in business today are pretty much required to have some kind of a banking institution. Why? Because people pay with a lot of different vehicles. Sometimes they wire transfer funds to us. Other times they write us a check. Sometimes it's cash. It's various different ways that the banking system is set up to assist us right now. But the truth of the matter is the closer you can get away from our fiat, centralized banking system, the better off we're going to be, is really my bottom line for folks. And that's one of the biggest reasons we coach people to utilize the precious metals in physical form only. Because if you get away from that and you start buying ETFs or which is an exchange traded fund for those that don't know, or any other vehicle that's actually done in a paper form where you really don't have, for instance, let's say you buy precious metal, but you don't buy it in physical form, or let's say you do buy it in physical form and you have somebody else actually as a steward supporting that in their secure environment or whatever. Well, you may have never in your life actually ever seen that amount of money that you put into that metal, and you wouldn't until you actually decide to take it out for whatever purpose. And in that case, many of the places that do that, seem to be legitimate businesses. There's some in the Intermountain West that are supposedly first class operations that way. My concern is not so much for them; it's for the government. If we have any kind of situation where there's a breakdown in the government in any way whatsoever, you're not getting your metal.
Well, when you put your money in a bank, it's no longer your money; it's the bank's money. Mm-hmm. They've written the rules so that you're an investor. Mm-hmm. And a deposit is a negative, not a positive.
Yeah,
you're depositing your money, not positing your money. Yeah. And when it comes to silver holdings, because it has been classified as a critical metal,
right?
Could the government say we need that for war, and we're confiscating it because we need it more than you do, so they could just take it?
It's with government, I think pretty much anything is possible.
But we don't really know.
Yeah, well, we don't know. I've had a lot of people through the years ask me about, what FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, did in the 1930s. In 1933 particularly, he pulled away the metal from the people, which was a completely outrageous thing that was done. Gold was 24.
Confiscated it.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely
What was the
outrageous.
reason? What was the reason?
Well,
he said?
basically
He made it illegal to hold.
we were put into bankruptcy. Basically, is what happened as a government. When I say we, I'm talking about the government, not us, but the government of the United States. Was put into bankruptcy.
They closed down all the small mining operations. People couldn't go out and just
So in '29, when the crash happened, in October '29, it literally changed the entire world at that moment, and put the United States government in bankruptcy. And many state that we still are in it, that we've never actually gotten out of it. But that's what that whole issue was basically a payoff, to try to pay off the. Well, we can get into this. The Rothschilds and the.
It wasn't like they just confiscated it. They paid them the spot price of gold.
Yeah, but they made them turn it in.
Yeah.
That is confiscation.
Yeah, they made them turn it in, or they would get a $10,000 fine.
Oh, it was absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, my God.
But what was interesting about that is all the people confiscated it, and then they changed the spot price of silver by 3 times more.
Well, yeah, but it's really interesting because if you've ever seen any of the posters, all those posters would have been used in the urban areas of big cities. But what about all the rural?
Outliers?
People didn't even know about this happening.
Yeah.
Unless they had a radio, and many of them did not, so most people would not have known that this was even going on. Now, they would
have gotten a newspaper. It would have been in the newspapers all across the nation, and even in outliers, they would have gotten newspapers. People were very astute that way.
Right. But what's interesting is they
would have known.
Yeah, so if you know what a double eagle is, right? That's a $20 gold piece.
Right.
So, or an eagle is a $10 gold piece. All of those, a lot of this gold, you got to remember back in the 30s, a lot of people were still coming to this nation, right? From Italy and Spain and from all over Europe, Germany, everywhere. Right. So there's still family there in a big way. And so what a lot of these folks did was they literally sent their gold that they had to Europe to protect it from the hands of a criminal government.
Yep.
And so even to this day, there's an enormous amount of U.S. gold in Europe.
Well, and that's a scam that we've been aware of, too, where people would say, oh, excuse me, my grandpa sent all this gold. It's sitting in a Swiss bank, and I need $50,000 to pay the attorneys so that I can get my gold out. Right. Don't fall for it, guys. It's a scam.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother issue we can get into a little bit here today. Is the amount of individuals that are bringing fake precious metals to our store to sell to us.
Yeah, it's increasing by quite a bit.
It's been quite a bit. I mean, we're even seeing problems with regard to some of our major suppliers where
Britannia's.
Oh, God, yeah. So everything has to be double checked, triple checked. For weight first. Usually the first thing we have
weight
to
and size.
We literally put it on a scale immediately, and it tells the story almost every time. If it's even slightly off, it's an issue. A troy ounce is 31.105 grams of purity as far as weight is concerned. And that's the case with all precious metals. They all have to weigh exactly the same ounce weight. And so,
especially since the metals are becoming so expensive, people are looking for a deal. Mm-hmm. And they hear the sob story. Oh, I just need to cash out. I'm in a terrible spot. Mm-hmm. I need to get my car fixed so I can go help my elderly mother or whatever the story is. I'm willing to take less because I just need to get cash. You know what? They can go to any gold store or silver store or coin shop or precious metals dealer and get full price for it. So question the deal, guys. Don't get caught up in that.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, people are promoting these products on eBay, on major sales
Sites.
formats like Amazon, for instance, and they're coming in. They're saying, "Hey, I had a guy bring in 26 10-ounce Britannia bars, 10-ounce silver bars the other day." And he says, "Yeah, I'd like to sell these." I said, "Okay, fine." So I take one out and I put it on the scale and it's way off, right? I thought, what's going on here? Because it looked pretty good. And that's another thing too. They're getting really good at this.
Yeah.
Really, really good at it. Back in the day, 10, 20, 15 years ago, this stuff you could see before you even, put it in your hand that it was fake, just because of the quality of the minting on it. Nowadays, not so much anymore. You gotta, I can tell a Silver Eagle if it's a fake or not, almost immediately. But my gosh, they're getting better and better at this.
If
the
you're
Chinese
in our
are
area and you have an opportunity to pick up some precious metals at a bargain, you meet them at our store, and for a small fee, we will test it for you and verify that what you're getting is legit.
Right. We're probably not even going to charge you, most likely,
we will,
because it depends on the amount. If it's a big hoard, then you're probably going to have an issue for sure. But my gosh, start to listen. We've talked about this before. If you're buying Silver Eagles at $15.59, you're not buying a Silver Eagle. You're buying a fake. And don't try to take it to a professional precious metals dealer.
Well, there is a caveat to that. It could be real, but you're buying it from a drug addict who stole it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother gamut of issues there.
Yeah. So if you want to support your drug dealers or your drug addicts, and buy stolen property.
No, I'm just literally referring to these online purchases. You can tell they come in a certain way, particularly the 1-ounce bars. I love how they always do these because they encase them in
plastic.
in the plastic cases, and they look real sweet and pretty and everything, but almost every single time they're fakes. And their height is incorrect almost always because they're copper. And copper, of course, doesn't have the density anywhere near the density of silver.
They look legit because they're so good.
They do look good because the minting quality is getting
really
better and
good.
better and better. And so they might have a buffalo Indian head, design on them that we've seen and sold hundreds of thousands through the years. But if they come in this case, or if you're buying something like this and you get it like that, you better have it checked really, really quick, because that is not how professional dealers sell bars of silver.
So back to the market. I was watching the Asian guy. If you haven't seen the Asian guy, look him up. He's really great. He was talking about why he thinks silver's going to go down to in the 50s. He was also talking about how the market and the telltale signs, the candles or whatever, are mimicking back in the 70s when we had that huge jump in pricing.
Yeah, the Koch brothers.
And he said when you take the run, when silver starts to run, just like it did in December, when it ran so quick and so fast, people couldn't catch it.
Yeah.
They just couldn't catch it. But let me finish.
Okay.
And he was talking about how he's expecting this brief fall and then another run. And he said, if you take the numbers and the historical facts, he's predicting $700 an ounce silver based on historical facts and percentages and where we were and where we're going.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, a silver dragon actually came to our store, and we did an episode. And he asked me specifically, where do I see silver in the next few years? And I said, well, we'll see $600, and it got mocked for that pretty heavily from a lot of people, which doesn't really matter all that much to me. But and that's another thing too. There's a lot of people out there that take what we're saying, or and just are out there, I swear, to just attack and damage people's credibility to the whatever level they think they can. It's interesting because when you're in the business like we are, and we've been in a business for a long time, there's a lot of emotion attached to what's happening in the world right now, and what's happening particularly with precious metals.
Well, money's an emotional topic.
It's incredibly emotional.
It's your life's energy. You spend your life's energy creating money, whether it's a lot or a little bit, and it's your life force.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so emotional.
Yeah, and so this $700 price point, and even $1,000 has been coming up by even bigger names than the Asian guy and the other ones that are doing AI strategic information, and it's literally coming out every single day. I give them kudos for what they get, because nobody's ever spent this much time talking about silver until silver actually
his identity, which I think is really wise too.
Yes, he is, and that's a really good thing. However, to get back to that $700 number, we're going to see it, folks.
It's not going to be tomorrow.
No, but it could be. It could be. The truth about silver, and we'll just go over this until the end of the world, basically.
It's not too late to jump in, and regardless of whether you're going to pay $50 or $80 or $100 an ounce, you're getting a good deal. Get what you can get, and sit on it. Yeah,
I mean, guys, there could be a moment where we got $50 and $100 premiums on silver. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah,
when that happens, I mean, you got an 8-to-1 ratio as far as the amount of being mined right now. We got the ratios even going to get shorter and shorter as time progresses on, because there's less and less of this material that's actually coming out of the ground.
Well, and what's frustrating for me as a dealer is I'm really not making any more money selling it at $100 an ounce than I did when it was $70 an ounce.
No.
There's no more increase for us.
Right.
But there's more outlay for us.
Yes,
it's costing us more to get it.
Exactly.
And we're not making any more on it. It's insane.
It's really...
As dealers, it's insane.
It is.
Because you have a $5 premium, and let's say you're buying at $5 under spot, and they crash that market down by $6. We're upside down in something that we can't sell.
We've been dealing with this actually ever since
it's tricky.
January,
and I know a lot of dealers have gone out.
They have.
Coin shops have gone out.
It's incredibly
and they've thrown
sad.
Their hands up because it's so incredibly volatile right now. So please be patient with us.
Well, yeah,
because we're doing the best we can.
And be as kind as you possibly can, because I know you can be. You can't possibly understand what we're dealing with unless you're an actual dealer. There's no way you could
$200 on an ounce of gold in 30 seconds.
No, $700 increase on one day in January.
Yeah,
$700, folks.
But then it fell $700.
Yes, it did. The next
run
day.
in to sell expecting to get that $700 increase. Guys, just be aware that when it runs up like that, we're going to be pretty dang conservative.
Oh my gosh.
Because we know that they could crash it back down, and we don't have the buyers right now. And it's mind-boggling that people aren't still coming in and investing and buying what they can buy, because we're still at the new low.
Yeah, we've been in ghost town for a couple months now, as far as folks involving themselves in investing.
Purchasing. Yeah.
Literally. And so
and
if you're not buying, if no one's buying, now, this is business 101.
This is
no. This is business 101. So, if you have a business, you need to sell in order to keep the business alive, right? Well, that hasn't been happening for 2 months now. So, people are bringing precious metals to us to purchase. We do it as far as our the limitations of our budget at that moment. Sometimes we'll delay payments so that we can, in some cases, we'll sell it to someone else.
We can always liquidate it to our vendors, but that takes a little bit of time, and you're not going to get paid that day.
Dealers don't have $3, $4, $5 million sitting in a bank account to purchase
your silver or gold.
Most dealers don't have that kind of resource available.
So if you're in a situation and you have 20 ounces of gold eagles that you need to liquidate because you want to move it into another investment, give us a week.
Yeah,
give us a week. Don't wait until the last minute. If you're buying a house and you're closing on that house, give us at least a week to get your metals cashed out.
We have done this for many people.
We've been under the wire, under their constraints, and we've been able to pull it off. But anyway, just be aware.
Luckily,
that we can take care of you with any amount of whatever.
Any amount,
but you're going to need to work with us so that we can get it moved and get you cash.
It can get a little dicey sometimes, but if I take on your deal, it means I can do it. And we keep our word. And, we've never missed an obligation ever, not one. So, if you have some kind of a situation coming up, in your life where you're needing very significant amount of funds, particularly for real estate or vehicles or, a Monaco RV or whatever it is you're looking to get involved in, we're happy to assist. Thank goodness we have strategic partners that were able to do these deals. Because if we didn't, we could never pull this stuff off.
So speaking of strategic partners, tell me about that unique Browning rifle that you have in your case.
Oh, we have an A5 Browning.
And why is it different?
Well, it's considered probably the finest shotgun in the world, by many people. It was built and designed to fire quickly and easily. And by the way, this is not our business. It happens to be an antique. So, we're able to sell that.
Yeah, we buy and sell antique guns.
Yeah, when we can acquire them and get them, that is another unique thing that we do as a coin shop.
Am I talking about the right gun? There was something unique about it being the one and only, or
well, it's not a one and only, but it's rare. They're just hard to come by.
Rare?
Well, because they only built so many of them, and they're hard to come by.
What is it again?
It's called an A5. It's automatic 5, basically. It's just a really nice weapon, shotgun.
So for you gun lovers and historians that love the history of guns, come and take a look at it. It's pretty beautiful.
Our store, really, to be quite honest, and not just touting it just because it's incredibly unique. Our store is really worthy of your attention. As far as if you're in St. George, you need to come see the Gold Door store. because it's fun. We have great accolades from, the past 20 years, almost 16 years, being there. Folks enjoy it. We've got great Google reviews. Go check us out online, goldorstore.com.
Well, do you have any really unique coins or currency in the store right now that our collectors would be interested in?
Well, yeah, if you're a Morgan dollar lover, I've got the coin of coins, the master of the universe of the Carson Cities, which is the 1889 Carson City. I sent it in for grading about 2 months ago, and it came back in MS62. So if any of you out there, and I know there's someone watching this right now that is interested in that particular coin, it's a very high grade for an 89 Carson, contact me. Just get a hold of me. And
thegoldorestore@gmail.com.
Yep.
And ore is spelled like mining ore, O-R-E.
Our phone number's 435-703-9119. And but yeah, we always have unique items in the store but a lot of times too, you got to ask, because I don't keep it all out, in front of the public.
And everything gets put away at night.
Yeah, so we don't. A lot of the stuff that's incredibly unique and stuff, I don't put out.
We've got a couple of framed Confederate dollars with the artwork too. That's a little dicey with the Dixie, the whole.
Yeah, it's
depending on whether you're north or south, you might get a little backed up over those.
Yeah,
but they're kind of fun.
Yeah, Lee's in there. Picture Lee, on his horseback. They're very unique and very historical, and the notes that are on them are excellent currency from the Confederacy, so that might be of interest too.
What else is really unique, and they only made 1,776 of them, is the goldbacks.
Yes,
now,
that very rare
we have
item.
Some goldbacks that are pretty large, and they're the Constitution, and they're in 24 karat gold. They're not out. You'd have to ask to see them, but
it's a declaration.
Oh, Declaration.
It's a Declaration of Independence. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very special. We happen to have just a few.
We have one that's framed in our 214 building.
We do have one actually framed, but with the others are not. They're just like they were when they were originally made by Arm Company, and now worth a lot more than they were when they were originally.
If you've never heard about the goldbacks, you can look up goldbacks.com. And you can see the states that have made gold and silver legal tender. They've created bills made in 24 karat gold in different denominational weights.
These declarations are actually pure gold. And that's another unique aspect to them. They're actually 8 grams of pure gold total.
And they're the size of a poster.
Yeah, they're the size of the Declaration.
Yeah.
They're literally done exactly the same size as the original Declaration. They're beautiful. They really are gorgeous. And I don't even know about price right now. So, but call and we'll figure out where they're at right now. But they are very, very rare right now. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because the 250th anniversary of our great nation is on February 4th of this year. So those are going to be made available.
I think we should do some type of a giveaway.
Maybe.
at the 4th of July.
Well, maybe we will. Maybe we will do that.
We're one of the sponsors for our local 4th of July. And that would be pretty cool if we got that framed and had a drawing at the 4th of July.
So Canyon Media, whom we work with all the time, I do local commercials here at the radio stations for Canyon Media.
Kind of pulled that out of the hat. Greg's like going...
Yeah. Well, I hadn't thought of it, but actually, it's a great idea. I think we will do that. So we became one of the sponsors. Some very big sponsors are involved in this event, and it is a big deal. It's held at Utah Tech now. They changed
used to be
the name.
Dixie State, but Dixie wasn't politically correct. So
yes, exactly.
the locals were very upset about the name change.
Yeah, so those of you that are watching this from other places, you'll probably be just laughing about this, but the southern part of Utah was declared the Dixie of Utah, back in the 1850s, 60s, when it was really being built. Actually, most of the cities here in southern Utah were really actually being built during the Civil War,
right?
Which is really another interesting aspect too.
And here in southern Utah, it's the southern city in the state before you hit the Arizona Strip and into Nevada. So they were planting cotton.
They actually did,
because it was warmer and it's high desert.
Yeah.
They called it Dixie.
Mm-hmm.
And
it didn't do so well here because we don't have the moisture in our area that they do in the South. And so it just really didn't hold up. But the name held, and
some high school kids went and wrote Dixie on the side of the Red Rock, and it just stuck, and it's still there. They haven't taken it down.
Yeah, so this is just some trivia for those folks that are watching this not from our area.
Local trivia, yeah.
It's a very unique place in the world. We have 5 national parks within, I think they're 1 hour of each other, aren't they? I think you can actually...
In one day, you can drive through 5 national parks, including the Grand Canyon.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. It's worth coming to visit if you've never been.
Zion is one of the bigger ones.
We try to keep it a secret, but I think it's out.
Yeah, that's pretty much out, yeah.
Anyway, well, let's see. What did it do? What did the metals do since we've been on the air? Okay, so silver is $74.10, down $1.91. A great day to buy, guys.
That's what I was getting at.
And then gold is down $39.20 at $4,710. So it's a down day. Invest.
Yeah, I mean, every single day that you hold off, knowing that you get to buy this product in physical form, is one day more that you're losing power of the dollar.
Well, you're also taking your power back when you take the fiat currency out of circulation and invest it into precious metals.
It's a very unique relationship.
It gives you independence from the banking system.
You're taking something, you're storing it on your own, by the way. We don't really approve of putting your precious metals into a bank for many reasons.
Or even a vault, because...
Well, all you got to do is go back a couple years and look at these banks that have failed. The banks and even credit unions and savings and loans and all of these companies.
The vault companies that were given
That too.
They were given that stewardship to store their retirement, and then they were selling their metals until there was nothing more to sell.
Exactly.
And then they end up in federal prison.
Yeah, we happen to know someone who actually
did business with.
Yep, we did business with. We never. Luckily, I do know of others that got taken. But in our case, we were very lucky. We actually met him several times, and
he would fly out and meet with us.
Mm-hmm. And he literally kept his word, and every single
inviting us to Costa Rica on their investors' dimes, but we never went.
Thank goodness we stayed away from all that. But we were very blessed that we never had any issues that came up with this particular individual. I got to tell you, I mean, GOLD, it makes people into psychos. Ever since we got involved in this business, and it involves gold, My goodness, it seems like all the rats and cockroaches on the planet end up, coming to your aid, in quotes, to help you, in quotation marks, unquote. And we got hit with a couple things that would have probably taken out most other people, and we're still here. But there are plenty of people out there that literally want to steal from you, or steal. If you have this type of thing, you just need to be incredibly careful.
There's certain things you just don't talk about. Well, you don't tell people, even family, about your finances. You just don't talk about it. And if you're investing in gold and silver, it's better that you be the only one that knows you have it.
Oh, my goodness.
Because it's family that's going to take it from you.
It reminds me of one elderly lady who is just a
gem
neat,
of a lady.
Sweet human being. Her family's been giving her all kinds of grief regarding purchasing precious metal, and particularly gold. She has interest in gold.
Well, and I can kind of see it in her situation. She's in her 90s. Mm-hmm. She's pulling her money out of her investments.
Yeah.
And she lives in an assisted living center. Mm-hmm. So I can kind of see in her situation where there's no time, there's not going to be any time for that to grow. Mm-hmm. And it puts her at risk for her to have that in her possession. So I totally get it in that situation.
Yeah, but here's the problem with regard to her situation. What we're seeing, too, in a very large way, is the bankers that are involved with these individuals. And some of these are big corporations. You would know the names. And some of them are more local related institutions that you wouldn't necessarily know the names. All I'm saying is that they're getting their nose into things that they don't really have the right. Well, they don't have the right, flat out, to get involved in. And
it's not necessarily the 90-year-olds that are running up against this. It's the 40 and 50-year-olds that are running up against this. When you go matter of fact, I ran into it when your mother's home sold, and I went to the bank to get a cashier's check.
Right.
Or no, was I wiring the funds? I was wiring the funds to our vendor for a large sum of precious metals, and they ran me through the ringer and made me stand in the teller line for 20 minutes while they tried to think of a reason why they shouldn't
be able to
money.
Do that. Yeah,
but because I was who I was and I have the gold ore store, they backed off.
Right.
But if I had been anybody else, and we've had clients that have had issues.
Oh, we've many hundreds through the years.
It's just you've got to use wisdom, guys, and keep things close to your vest and use wisdom. It may not be wisdom for you to invest in precious metals. It just may not. But if it is, and you feel like it's the right thing to do for your goals and where you're at in your financial well-being, we're at 7 North Main Street, St. George, Utah. Our email address is thegold, O-R-E, store@gmail.com. And you can call us directly at 435-215. Oh, no, wait a minute. 435-703-9119. I almost gave you Greg's cell phone number. He wouldn't have appreciated that.
No, that would not be too great.
Give us a call. If we don't answer, leave a message. We'll get back to you. We would love to develop a relationship with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're more email related, and I totally relate to that too. A lot of times it's
we ship all over the nation.
We do, but also if you want to email us, I love responding to the emails. Sometimes you can get a more precise distinction of what it is that you're referring to if you write it down. I know that's the case for me. and it can really assist in kind of breaking down exactly what you have, and or maybe you're
On the
looking to
buy
sell
and the
something.
Sell. If you have things you want to sell and you're concerned about where to go, we can assist you with that.
A lot of folks will send emails to us with a breakdown of basically what they have. In many cases, it's not of interest to us, particularly if it's modern coinage and that kind of thing. If it's bullion and that sort of thing, and it's a very large group.
A unique, small, unique.
Yes, unique.
Antiques and collectibles.
Yeah, antiques, collectibles. We're always interested in that kind of stuff, but we're really looking for, we're pretty
Bullion.
discretionary about it. We're not just looking for the kind of stuff that you would normally see anywhere. We want really cool, interesting things that people are going
to in the mining industry. We love the antique mining stuff, the antique
mining carts. We've had
cowboys
mining
and
carts
Indians,
and
the spurs, the knives, the guns,
anything Western.
Cowboy.
Yeah, anything Western.
Yeah,
we really like a lot.
Yeah.
This town was settled as a Western town. John Wayne used to make movies out of this area. If you're not aware of
Kevin Costner's been seen in town.
Well, Costner's building is an entire studio here.
When he was doing
now.
The Yellowstone or whatever that movie was, he was having lunch downtown quite a bit. But anyway,
we never saw him, but he's supposedly here quite often now because he's building a studio. Right here in St. George. He's trying to get away from Hollywood. I don't blame him for that. And we'll see how that goes. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot about that as the years progress.
Anyway, our hearts go out to you and your families. We hope you're all doing well. And until next time.
Yeah, thank you very much for being with us. And let us know if you have any particular things you want to have discussed or discuss. Heck, some point in time, maybe we'll even start taking phone calls somehow this way. I don't know.
435-703-9119.
All right. That's it for the Gold Ore Stores podcast of today, April 13th, 2026. Thank you so much.